Today I want to share the 3 winning recipes from the recent World Aeropress Championship, as well as one of my personal favorites from the competition. I will first walk you through the recipe and then talk about how they taste. All the recipes are written out in the description. Starting with Brandon Smith's recipe representing South Africa, which took 3rd place in the competition. He doses 18 grams of coffee ground fine. On my comandante and with the coffee I'm using, 18 clicks worked well. Since the coffee used in the competition was roasted a bit darker than what I usually brew with, I tested all the recipes on a couple of different delicious coffees from Monogram Coffee. Aeropress is inverted and with 1 rinsed paper filter. Start a timer and pour 140 grams of 88 degree water over the coffee within 10 seconds. Immediately stir gently back to front 5 times. Allow the coffee to brew and remove the lid from your kettle. This should cool the water for when we dilute the coffee. Now attach the filter cap, press out any air and flip the brewer at 1 minute and 25 seconds. When flipped, give it 1 gentle swirl and then press for 30 seconds through the hiss. Take off the Aeropress and dilute the concentrate with 80 grams of water from the open kettle. Swirl the coffee a little and let it stand for 1 minute to cool off. Important to note is that the water used in this recipe is 50-50 3rd wave water classic profile and 3rd wave water espresso profile. The water I use is 75% classic profile and 25% distilled water. Therefore, I haven't been able to replicate this recipe completely. But how does this recipe taste on the coffees I tested it on? I really like this recipe. All the flavor notes on the bag were present, crisp and delicate. It had a good sweetness and a nice long aftertaste. It also tastes great from hot to cold. On to Maru Mallee from the Netherlands, who took the 2nd place in the competition. He also doses 18 grams of coffee, but ground to a medium grind size. On my comandante and with my coffee, I dialed it to 25 clicks. Aeropress is inverted with 1 rinsed paper filter. Start a timer and pour 150 grams of water at 93 degrees. Then at 12 seconds, stir firmly 20 times until 25 seconds where you put on the filter cap. Then press out any excess air and put the carafe on top. The water used in this recipe is 75% classic profile 3rd wave water and 25% distilled water, and that is actually also the water recipe I brew with normally. Back to the recipe, at 1 minute and 50 seconds, flip the Aeropress and carafe, swirl 3 times and tap down 2 times. Press down for 20 seconds, take off the Aeropress and shake it to get the last coffee out of the carafe. Dilute with 36 grams of water and let cool. The resulting cup is alright, though not really my taste. It has very full, intense flavors with tons of sweetness, but it does sacrifice complexity and cleanliness of flavor, sometimes even becoming a bit muddled and harsh. Now to the 1st place winner representing Finland, Tuomas Merikanto. In his recipe he also dosed 18 grams of coffee, ground medium to coarse, around 27 clicks on my comandante and with my coffee. Aeropress inverted and cap with 2 rinsed paper filters. The water he used is 100% espresso profile 3rd wave water. Pour 50 grams of 80 degrees water into the Aeropress, stir very gently 3 times back and forth, and then at 15 seconds pour up to 200 grams. Allow the coffee to brew until 50 seconds where you stir back and forth gently 3 more times. And then at 1 minute, press out any excess air, put on the filter cap, and let it brew until 1 minute and 35 seconds. Here you put on the server, and at 1 minute and 40 seconds, flip the brewer and press for 20 seconds. This recipe then tells to aerate the coffee by swirling and pouring from a height. This is not something I usually do, but in the case of this recipe, it is really needed to open up the coffee. The coffee you get from this recipe is really great. It has great balance, good mouthfeel, intense sweetness, nice flavor intensity, and a lingering aftertaste. I have also found the recipe quite versatile over quite a few different coffees of the same roast degree. Finally, I wanted to share a great recipe from the competition by my countryman Rasmus Madsen. He also dosed 18 grams of coffee ground coarse. I dialed it to around 29 clicks on the comandante. Water recipe is 75% classic third wave water with a 25% distilled water dilution. Again, the same recipe I use every day. Aeropress is inverted with 2 rinsed paper filters in a cap on the side. Pour 130 grams of 100 degrees water over the coffee to create a concentrate. No agitation in this recipe, just let it brew for 2 minutes and then flip the Aeropress and press for 20 seconds. Dilute with 40 grams of water to finish the recipe. Resulting cup is amazing, also considering how easy it is to brew. Cup is clean with nicely balanced flavors and with no trace of any harshness or astringency. Now this recipe is a bit picky with what coffees it works with, so I recommend trying it with a couple of different ones. That was all for today. Thank you very much for watching.